1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000.
Drugs, early racing, early movie production.
If you feel like you want to come up here and say something, we're gonna have a little open mic, so come on up. Mr. Busby's here. I'm gonna hand him over to you on the mic, and yeah, he's gonna give you a couple words, and we'll keep it short. But if you want to share some thoughts, come on up. Come on up.
Good morning. I'm Wallace Busby. My wife and I have been here, I don't know, going on 30 years. We sailed in here on our sailboat after being in the Caribbean for 2.5 years. We loved it. We've been here ever since. But I want to tell you, if you want to know what the problem with our water is, it's all of us. We keep doing the same thing that we've been doing over and over again, and we expect a different result, and it's not going to happen. My wife and I have made a pledge. We are not going to support any incumbent in any political office from the top in Washington to the bottom here in Martin County. We gotta get a whole new group of people. Amen. And now is the time to do it. The other comment I want to make is about our governor. Yeah, what governor? He is elected by the people of Florida. He represents the state of Florida. He represents all of us. And for him to throw up his hands and say there's nothing he can do about it, I'm telling you, it is wrong. He should be in Washington, D.C., banging on every desk, starting with the president, and screaming. That's what he should be doing. And if he doesn't get any results, he should come back to Tallahassee. He should sit behind his desk, and he should condemn the land south of the river. He should take it over in the name of Florida, and he should send in the bulldozers now.
Come on.
Thank you very much. That's all I have to say.
Sending this water to us today because the lake levels are high and they're afraid that the dike will let go and will endanger the life south of the lake. Now, that's true. The dike is weak, the water is high, and those people are without a doubt in danger, so they have to do something with the water. However, there is a cyanobacteria bloom that has been ongoing for several months at Okeechobee Lake, and they know this. They back pump their dirty, polluted water back into the lake to feed this stuff, knowing that at that time it was coming to us. So, under the premise of we must protect the people, they're sending the water to us. But it's just not water. It's got a neurotoxin in it. They're sending poisonous, toxic water into our watershed and into the Caloosahatchee watershed. So, how is it proper to protect one group of people while deliberately endangering other people when there is an alternative that exists that will put no one in danger? Flood their fields. Where is the shared adversity that they have been promising us? They will share the burden of this problem, this ecological disaster. They'll share it. Right now, I promise you that if you overflew the EAA, it will be dry. Their sugarcane roots would be within a half an inch of exactly where they wanted to be. In the last 20 years, the only 2 times that they've ever had problems with their crops were in times of drought. No matter how many billions of gallons of water they're dumping on us, their fields stay dry. That's why they back pumped 3-4 weeks ago into our lake with nutrient soup that fed that blue-green algae bloom that is now in our estuary, that is now making our citizens sick. How is that right? How can you hold the law up and say we must protect these people, but they put us people in danger, and then the fields that they are protecting are exactly right. Right now, there is more sugar been produced this year than they were supposed to. So we have, with our sugar subsidies, with our price fixes and everything else, they've now produced more sugar than was allotted. And now the government is responsible for buying this sugar, and then they're going to sell at a loss to the ethanol makers.
Our money.
So here they are, they've already got more sugar crop than they're supposed to have, and we are being forced to house it, pay for it, and everything else, but yet we're being put in danger while their crops are being protected. We need to get mad. We need to remember this when it comes time for election. Senator Negron has got a group of senators coming here, and I promise you, not one of them this last legislative session did anything but throw us and our nutrient standards and our health under the slime. Not one of them represented the citizens of Florida. The FDEP guy that signed the permit that allowed the sugar people to back pump into our lake, he should have been hauled off in handcuffs in front of his family.
Amen, brother.
I'm telling you, the Florida Department of Environmental Protection is only protecting corporate polluters. They are not protecting the citizens of this state. So, please, everybody, the only thing left for us to do, we have tried to sue them, we have cajoled them, we have begged them, we have threatened them, we've done everything we can think of. We've held protests out here, just like this. We've been doing this for 15 years. The ballot box. When the Stuart News was good enough to hold that political symposium, all they wanted to talk about was how we, the citizens, we have redress. We can unelect them. Well, you know what? That is exactly what we need to do. When we start throwing some of these people out of office, the next guy will either represent us or he'll be one term. That's our only thing left that we can do. We must have our redress at the ballot box. So please, when this water cleans up, when we go back into a drought and everything else, and a year has passed, don't forget what is happening here today. We had the ISIC discharges, and everybody was riled up and everything else, and when the discharges stopped, within 3 weeks, this all died down. Nothing has changed. We're going to get it over and over and over again. When we tried to sue, they said the statute of limitations must be applied to this. That just because this happens once every 5 or 6 years, it's not a new event. So our only redress again is the ballot box. And I implore you, please, please do not forget what they are doing to us and hold them accountable. Thank you.
All right, big round of applause, people. All right, we got an announcement to make.
And about a year ago, we recognized the fact that we had to get some younger people involved. And I'd like to introduce to you one of our river kids. This is I'd like to introduce to you one of our river kids. This is Veronica Dalton. And she just turned 11, and she's one of the river kids. And she wrote this speech herself. So I'd like you... So here you go. This is Veronica Dalton, 11 years old. This is the next generation of environmental warriors for us, folks.
Hi, I'm Veronica Dalton, and I'm a river kid.
Put it right up to you.
I love the river, and I grew up by the river, and it means so much to me. I'm going to ask a question to the people that grow the sugar cane. Do you care more about your sugar cane or about an entire ecosystem? Listen, we may be kids, but we have a voice. And this is what we think. Stop the discharges into the river. You're not only making the river look ugly, you are killing an entire ecosystem. Last year, over 225 manatees were killed. This year, over 50 dolphins and over 300 pelicans. This has an effect on every sea creature and animal that lives in the lagoon. What is Florida known for? It's water. What is Stuart known for? It's water. We only have so much water on Earth, and if it's gone, we won't survive. Nothing will. So save our rivers, please. Thank you.
Lived here for
since 1976. That's not as long as a lot of you've lived here, but I've watched this deterioration take place. It's a f***ing boat captains, not me, but all the boat captains in Martin County. And if the fellows in West Palm Beach don't watch out, it's going to affect them too. It's affecting the guys up in St Lucie County. It's affecting the guys in Indian River County. That's tax dollars that we can't pay because we're not making any money. You know, I had a guy out the other day, he's been coming here over 20 years with his kids. And his kid was getting ready to start college. He wanted to bring him here one more time. And I took him out fishing, and we're riding up the river. And the guy's literally looking back and forth, and he's shaking his head. He doesn't know what's going on. And so when I pulled up the boat to stop, because it seemed he was getting upset. So I said something to him about it. I said, what's bothering you? He said, I've never seen this river like this. He said, I haven't seen one bird. I haven't seen one pelican. I haven't seen any porpoises. And about that time, a manatee with lesions on its back came swimming across the top. And so I idled up to it because it wasn't going to go anywhere. Because they don't. This is where they live. And he came, we looked at him and he had the lesions on his back, and the guy literally almost broke down in tears. And I went 40 miles and caught him 6 trout. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but that ain't very much for a boat captain that's fishing in this, trying to make a living. And he was supposed to go with me on Thursday. On Wednesday, he called me. He said, do you really expect me to spend money to go fishing with you in that mess that we were in the other day? I said, not one bit. Not one bit. I said, I don't blame you. I wouldn't go either. So I want to know a question. Back when they wanted to make the Indian River a no-motor zone because the manatee people were griping, and Jimmy Buffett was on this big program about let's protect the manatees. Where's he? He's in his ranch in Palm City. That's where he is. You know, we need to get people that care about this to really say they care and show how much they care. It's not just a political thing. This is life and death, not just for us, but for the kids to come. You know, I got a granddaughter, 3 years old. I went to her dance recital yesterday, and if this keeps up, she'll never swim where Papa fished. And that's pitiful. That's pitiful. So thank you all for being here, and I love you all. God bless you.
Thank you, Lynn.
Okay, thanks a lot. Those sentiments were super. This is an astounding thing. The government, though, says everything's under control. So we have a great engineer, Kevin Henderson. One thing, when he wants to summarize what we're getting, he says it's a pack of lies. That's really what we're getting, is a pack of lies. They don't have anything on the boards that will really help. It's a pretend world, and we've soaked it up, I'm afraid, and we've believed, oh, well, things are going to be okay. They aren't going to be okay. The only thing that will work is a flowway south. The water that's gushing here has to go south. It's that simple. Now, it's all explained at our riverscoalition.org in the Plan 6. We have a paper there that explains it. It's long, but it has to be. So I hope you all will read that and support Plan 6. Don't let things like SIP interfere, because it would relieve the discharges by about 7%. We don't need 7%.
Put that in the middle there.
It's like we have a tsunami, frankly, and we're attacking it with a 5-gallon bucket. That's what they're doing. So we have to be united and strong, and as I said, the sentiments that you've heard are right on. We have to follow through. The follow-through is everything. We can say these things and we can vent, but the next step is getting it done. And so let's keep working on it, and thank you.
Yeah. Hey, this is, I'm not giving you a hydrology lesson. The hydrology lesson is happening over there at the locks, and you're going to see it after you walk over there, pouring out at about 3.5 billion gallons a day with 33,000 pounds of nitrogen and about 6,000 and 9,000 pounds of phosphorus and about 175 cubic yards of all this suspended silt and sediment. That's polluted water that's going out into this estuary with no treatment, no recognition of this estuary body at all. And those of us who have fought for this estuary for many years feel like it's just a devastation and destroying it. And I appreciate all the signs. This is the samples I've been getting. This algae, this is Microcystis aeruginosa. It's a toxic algae. Do not touch it or bit near it. It causes hepatotoxin, which is bad for your liver. And also the silt and sediment, oh, there it is, that comes out is all suspended in the bottom. We have about over 8 to 12 million cubic yards of this stuff already in the St. Lucie, and this is adding another 10 truckloads a day of stuff already coming in. So basic hydrology, and I appreciate my Vanna over here, Leon. This all started in the upper chain of lakes south of Orlando. The water flows from there all the way south, and natural flow used to come down in the upper chain of lakes to Lake Kissimmee. And then gradually it used to wind back and forth an oxbow like a river, a 105-mile long river with a 2-mile wide floodplain on either side. So when it got real wet up there, it would flood the river plain. It would flood out 2 miles on either side. And then it would get here into the lake. That process took about 6 to 8 months for water to get from the chain of lakes to the lake. Now they've channelized it, and it takes less than 2 days. We get rain up there, it comes to the lake, and that's why the lake fills up. The lake used to flow south. This 60-mile wide flowway, known as the River of Grass, was described as the Everglades. That's the way the lake naturally flowed. Well, along in 1926-28, we got 2 big hurricanes came across here. And they basically wiped out a lot of people, unfortunately died around the lake. So they built the Hoover Dike around the lake, 35 to 40 feet high, completed in 1937. And that opened up this area south of the lake for agriculture, primarily sugarcane, that now grows sugarcane right in these areas and has complete water conditions and control over how much drainage and how much water supply they get. So that starved the Everglades, and they improved the St. Lucie Canal and the Caloosahatchee over on the west coast, which goes to Fort Myers over here. So this Caloosahatchee and all is getting the same stuff we're getting. Very much damage to their estuary, their oysters, their clams, their seagrasses, just like we're getting in the St. Lucie. And what's happened is they've used these discharges, and they don't have any other outlet south to put the water because it's being blocked by the agricultural interests. So what happened, and what Carl has mentioned, is Plan 6. And as you'll see the banners here, Plan 6 is the only fix. And basically we have to get that water moving south. And there's a plan that was proposed in 1993-94 by the science subgroup called Plan 6. But it was shelved by the Corps of Engineers in the district. We're revising that to make it a project that would replace the ASR project they're trying to treat the water from Lake Okeechobee with. So we need to put this project in place. But you all can help by getting this going viral and saying we need Plan 6 now. And we need to put it in place now because it's going to solve the discharges, no discharges out of here. Put it down south where it needs to go. So that's about it. I've talked technically with people. This can work. This is a feasible plan, a feasible project. The only thing holding it up is political will. There you go. Which means that you and I and everybody here needs to contact our congressmen and our state representatives and tell them this has got to change. We've got to put the money and the project together and get it done within the next 5 to 10 years, right? So we can get it done, and I don't have to pass on to my kids, or the young lady that was up here, she can hopefully tell her kids that this is going to be restored, truly restored, and get that river grass redone and restored. Thank you very much.